Welcome aboard the Wellcraft 355 Commuter. Many of you will be familiar with Wellcraft for their heritage in producing performance hulls. But today we're going to dive into the heart of this vessel and see how the modern day Wellcraft combine luxury, performance, innovation and ease of use in this brilliant overnight capable 12-metre cruiser. With over 60 years of boat building pedigree, what Wellcraft have managed to do is combine that American muscle heritage with some European flair. Every inch of this boat exudes elegance and functionality, whether you're on the back deck or standing at the bow. The business part of this boat is this aft cockpit. Access on board is easy through the transom doors. That also gives you access to the swim platforms, or a door in either side. It has a low lip, so you're not going to trip over it as you come on board. But my favourite part of this area is its functionality. It's a hose out floor, and that makes it easy to clean. Wellcraft are well known for their fishing boats as well, so if you wanted to fish here, you can clean up very easily after a day out. I do love how this entire area is open to the inside of the boat via this top hinging window and side door. It really opens the conversation up inside to outside and outside to inside. I can't forget to mention this bench seat. That's going to be the most comfortable place for your guests to sit while you're underway in any conditions. You've also got a tow hook here for your water sports toys, and if you do partake in a little bit of fishing, there's plenty of storage and kill tanks either side in the floor. What I really like about this area is it showcases the deep thought that Wellcraft put into creating a space like this. Most boats just have a sun pad at the bow, and that's great. You can lay back and relax on those, no problem at all. Wellcraft have taken this a step further. We've got speakers here delivering sound to the bow area, but you've got this face-to-face seating aspect that they've built into this bow space. And I think that's a really good use of the area. You can have a conversation, sit face to face, use the end of the sun pad there as a bench, and of course this bench that I'm sitting on now. If you want to relax, you've got the sun pad, you've got armrests, you can really lay back and soak up that sun. Either way you use this area, it's going to be one of your favourite places on this boat. You can see the flow that they've built in from the outside through the internals of the boat. This area here is your place to sit down and relax of an evening when it gets dark and perhaps a little cooler. You can shut it in with the window and the door, or you can leave it open as we have it now. You've got a small bench top on the port side with a sink. There is no cooktop, but you can add a barbecue outside, and that's the first thing that I would be doing. You've got storage underneath that sink and a fridge down there towards the back of the boat. Easy to access from the outside and also the inside. You've got an L-shaped seating lounge located on the starboard side with a table in the centre. Of course, these seats are modular, so there's little bench seats that securely stow while you're underway, but they can be moved to anywhere you like, so you can spread the seating out, giving you a little bit more room to move. Downstairs in this north-south cabin, you can really see the opulence shining through. You've got a fantastic sized bed, perfect for a couple overnighting, no matter where you are. You've got a small bench seat just on the port side, and you've got a beautiful head located on the starboard. This space exudes comfort, class and luxury. It really is a beautiful aspect of this boat. If you're serious about overnighting whilst you're on board, this is the sort of boat you want to do it in. The helm area is set up for performance. The seats are incredibly comfortable, got beautiful armrests to them, and they really do hold you in well. The dashboard itself, you've got two large multi-function display units, in this case Garmin, and they give you all of the readouts and also your maps and also fish finders if you need to find the fish. The throttle falls to hand very easily, and you've got power assisted steering running to three 300 horsepower Mercury outboards, and that gives you brilliant control of the vessel while you're underway. One thing I do really like is they've got a dual layered footrest here, so I can use that to lean up against the bolster, or I can sit on the bolster and put my feet on the top footrest, and that makes the driving position really, really comfortable. I've got a door here to access the outside of the boat when it comes to docking, but I've also got a joystick control, and that does give you incredible maneuverability, whether you're coming into dock or even just finding the perfect place in the perfect bay. You've got an optional bow thruster as well. That gives you a little bit of additional control. You may or may not need that, but if it's really windy, it does come in handy, certainly. Mercury vessel view down here on the left hand side, that gives you all of your readouts for your outboard engines, keeping you in touch with what's going on every step of the way. All in all, this is a perfectly executed dashboard and helm area. This is the fun bit. This is the bit where you get to drive a boat you may not necessarily ever own. But before we do that, I will say that I do love the feel of this boat. I like a little bit of fishing. I can do that down the back. My wife, I'm sure she's going to appreciate the luxury, the flow, the elegance on board. She'll really enjoy being in a space like this. And with 2 young children at the moment, I think they could have mountains of fun and be safe the entire time. The freeboard is quite deep, and that makes it a very safe boat. At the moment, I'm just a little bit forward of just in gear. I'm doing about 8 or 9 knots, and we're using 36 litres per hour. I'm now up on the plane. We're doing about 25 knots, 26 knots. It's very comfortable speed for this boat. And we are burning about 135 litres per hour. We've actually crept up now to about 28, 30 knots, and it's a really comfortable speed for this boat. I don't think you need to be doing much more than this, moving from place to place. But let's see what she's got. I'm now wide open throttle. We're doing 42 knots, 43 knots, around 43 knots, 265 litres per hour, and that is flat out in this particular boat. I could trim it up a little bit and probably eke out a little bit more speed, but that's more than enough in a boat that's 12 metres long. And again, I still feel entirely comfortable. I'll just round a bend here and put it into a turn. So it's got a nice bed over angle, it's not too extreme, and it holds on. It's got a little bit of give, so it's not turning aggressively, I wouldn't call that. A little bit of give, and it is a really, I can't emphasize that enough, a really comfortable boat to drive. Doesn't feel like I'm bouncing everywhere, doesn't feel out of control, feels like I can see everything I need to, and also maintain complete control of the boat. I've found for me a comfortable cruising speed is around that 30 knot mark. And when you're cruising around, and this is probably the entirety of what you need to be doing when you're moving from place to place, everyone on board will be comfortable and not hanging on for dear life. We're burning about 134 litres per hour, doing 30 to 31 knots. And again, completely comfortable and a really nice speed for this particular boat. When it comes to cornering, this boat has a really nice layover or bed over angle. It's not too extreme, it's really comfortable. My visibility is still good out the sides, ahead, and also behind me. But that bed over angle means everyone's comfortable on board. They're not trying to hold on and being pulled to the side of the boat. That's one of the nice features about a monohull like this. It has a nice bed over angle, and Michael Peters' design is world renowned for his hull designs, and I think this one is a beauty. Now, if you're coming into dock or pulling up in a bay, I would generally move my seating position. I would leave the bolster up and I would move up here. I'll just duck down so I'm still in frame, but that gives me a much more top-down view of the boat, what's in front of me, what's out to the sides, and also behind me. It's a really comfortable view and one I prefer when I'm docking or coming into a wharf. With the American sports fishing and performance pedigree, you'd expect that this hull would excel in all conditions. Now, we had the opportunity to take it out offshore earlier this morning, and it certainly did exactly that. It does ride beautifully through chop and through swell. The hull does cut through the waves very easily. It's extremely stable and comfortable underway and doesn't do a lot of banging or lurching while you're out there. There is no doubt, after having spent a day aboard this Wellcraft 355 Commuter, of the thought process that's gone into creating this vessel. It's clear to me that Wellcraft are looking for a boat that delivered in equal measure on the adventure front, but also on the luxury front, and I think they've struck a perfect balance. If you're a couple, one of you likes fishing and the other one likes to relax in luxury, this is going to be the perfect boat, and I'm sure it's going to be extremely popular all over Australia. I'm Dom Wiseman for Club Marine TV. I'll see you on the next episode.